Hey guys, welcome to another live session here from Encoder Fashion. I'm Rose, and today we are going to continue where we left off from last week. And as you can see right here, I have the beautiful but simple dress here, and I created in CLO 3D using pattern that came with CLO. However, though, this dress pattern I modified it from a basic raglan top that CLO offer it in the libraries. I will show you step by step on how to modify that top into the beautiful dress and apply the cute prints onto the dress. However, though, this course right here focus on the basics of CLO 3D. So if you are new to CLO, this is going to be a 30-minute crash course with CLO beginner. Alright, so let's begin. I'm going to minimize this right now so we can continue to the CLO workspace. Okay, first of all though, before we're gonna do that though, I want to introduce to certain pattern making courses that I have offered as a member, as well as I have free courses as well. So for a member, if you want to learn how to make basic pattern, and once again guys, this pattern making method here is much easier than you think to produce many awesome patterns, such as the graphic design t-shirt kind of pattern, to this basic long sleeve top, to this complex pant from short to straight leg, to also this skinny pant. I felt like sometimes we think that making pattern is hard and complex. I think you think it's correct. However though, if you know the formula and follow the guideline, making pattern become more simple and easier than you think. So my idea of making pattern here, I used to make pattern in the old way. You draft the pattern on a paper with chalk or a pencil, and then you turn into a sample and so on. In CLO, you do not have to do all those. You pretty much use CLO to produce this amazing pattern and then have them fitted onto the avatar. However though, you still want to apply the pattern making knowledge to create this perfect pattern, so you don't have to do much. Let's say if you want to create into a sample, the more you do in CLO when making pattern to fitting the garment onto the avatar, the less you will do in a real life garment. So to make, excuse me, give me a second guys. There you go. Alright, with that said, making pattern much more simpler than you think, okay? As long as you know the formula and follow the formula, you are fine. And I promise you that this formula have been used for many years as my career as a seamstress, and I use this formula over and over, and I get to literally see how the formula works onto the pattern and apply that pattern onto the real life pattern for many clients, many customers come in, and many of these formula work really well, and I have been modified it to make it perfect even though you make in CLO. With that said, let's cut to CLO, and I'm going to show you how to use this formula and focusing on making pattern from beginner. Alright, let's cut to CLO. So here we go. So last week we created some basic idea of dress, and right now let's bring that dress back to CLO. Before we're gonna do that though, it seems like my workspace is kind of messed up. Let's reset that, okay? So let's come down here to this reset icon here to reset the workspace. Okay. There you go. So now I'm going to come over here and use this link folder here from the library tab. I'm going to click on the plus sign here. We want to link the folder here to the favorites so we can access it easily. So I'm going to navigate to my folder and under my project, and here the folder that I want, so online beginner. I'm going to click on open here. So now I can double click on that folder, and here we go. I have this slide from last week. I'm going to click on that folder here to open, and let's open that file right here, a project file from last week, guys. Let's continue where we left off. By the way, I have several answers to respond to your question. One of them, how can we reset the pattern in Close 3D with only one piece, rather reset the entire pattern? I understand what you mean. Let's say this pattern here, this is only one piece pattern. I can simply reset this pattern only one piece. Simply just click on that pattern, then right click and then select. You can either reset as a 2D, like for example right here, reset 2D arrangement select, which allow us to reset only one piece that we select. Let's say I want to reset it just like the one that in the 2D, I can select the 2D arrangement select here. Or sometimes you are already shown that garment onto the avatar. You do not want to reset it as a 2D arrangement. You want to reset this as a 3D arrangement. So the difference between the two though, the 3D arrangement will allow you to reset and the garment is stay right on top of the avatar. If you select the 2D arrangement, now the pattern will mirror to the 2D pattern that located in the 2D window. All right, so let's select the 3D arrangement right here, select, and now this is the pattern right here. What happened, because I have my pattern right there when I first created, so when I reset, it will stay right here. So I can see right here, this pattern here is above the avatar, and this one is not. So next, I have another question from viewer, guys. This one here, how can this pattern right here onto the avatar without doing anything? Let's say for example, when I first create this pattern, let's delete this pattern for now. And let's say I want to, I'm going to command or control plus letter Z to undo first. Let's snapshot this. So we are going to use this history tab here to capture this workspace. So first of all, guys, with CLO update, now you can save this history workspace. If I save this file, now the history will save with the file. So let's say for example right here, I'm going to capture this workspace and come over here to the history here and then click on the t-shirt icon here, add 3D state, click on that. Formula, you are fine. All right, so I can see right here, now I capture this and I'm going to show you how to load this workspace back. Okay, so now I'm going to close this library tab for now, so give me more space to work on this. All right, so let's say this part right here, I have no pattern. So to answer your question, how can the pattern suddenly appear onto the avatar? And this is what happened. All right, so right now I don't have any pattern at all, but if I decided to drape the pattern onto the avatar in 2D, so let's see. So I will use this polygon tool here, and we will go through all these tools, guys, promise, okay? So right now I use polygon tool, okay? So I'm going to start draping these, and more like drawing, but in the fashion term we would call it draping, but it is like you drawing onto this, let's say this cutting board. However, with CLO, when you draw any pattern piece, it becomes reality, okay? So let's say I'm going to draw this top right here, over here, and click right here, drag and draw it over here, and just like that, and like that. And if I release the mouse, and you see, so there it is. So this is what happened. The pattern, as soon as I release the mouse, it appears right on top of that 3D avatar. So that's how you see the pattern appear right there. Okay. All right. So I hope this answered both of you guys' questions. And now let's continue where we left off from last week. Okay, I'm going to delete the pattern, by the way, because I don't need that right now. So to delete that pattern, I will use the transform pattern tool here, and then click on that pattern, and then click on the delete or backspace on the keyboard to delete. Okay, so press on number 2 here, so you get to see the view of the avatar. And now I'm going to click on the avatar and then press on the delete of backspace on the keyboard to delete as well. All right, so next let's go to the history tab that we have snapshot a workspace earlier. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to right click and then select add to workspace. And there it is. So this is where we left off earlier last week, and we are going to pick it up and continue from there. All right, so we talked about right here on the left side here last week about library tab and favorite. We can also use many items that came with CLO. However, though, you can't resell them. And once again, you can use them to practice. Let's say you want to practice how to sew a garment. You can load the garment right here. See right here, we have many garments loaded into workspace. Remove the sewing and then practice sewing. Something like that, no problem. You can use and modify, do how you like, but you can't really resell that pattern because it is the property of CLO. Another thing too, if you plan on selling your pattern with CLO or to any, let's say any customer through online workshop or Etsy, for example, you do not want to sell these avatar because these avatar belong to CLO. You can sell your pattern as a garment file. You can sell your garment, but you can't sell the avatar. Okay, that's just a side note for those who thinking about creating pattern for sale on many online selling platform. All right, so now let's get back to our pattern. So right here, this is just a sample pattern making that I drafted earlier. All right, let's explain a little bit about tool here. So right here we have 3D toolbars, which we have so many tools that we will use. Although as a pattern maker, if you're starting out as a making pattern and you want to accomplish such as this, so let me show you that. So this is that when we sell a pattern, we want to see how the garment fit onto the avatar, as well as understand how to make the pattern and sewing them. So my goal here to walk you through step by step from understanding CLO workspace to create a pattern that you can sell on the website, that you can generate revenue. All right, so to show you that, let me show you my Etsy store here. So if you go to Encoder Fashion channel, guys, or you can go to Google, let me show you that, and you can type in Encoder Fashion and press on search, and here you see Encoder Fashion, which is I have YouTube, and if you scroll down, I have many video and links. However, I recommend you clicking on this Encoder Fashion YouTube right there, And then come down here underneath here, I see more link. So I have 4 more links. If I click on that 4 more links right here, I have Etsy and as well as my blog spot website, which guys is super useful because I dedicate my time creating not only pattern but also write into this detail step by step in blog posts so you can follow along or use that data while watching the video. So it's super cool. Let's say I'm going to click on that blogspot right now, and here get to my blogspot website, and this right here you can click on read more, and it will tell you, it gives you exact number. Let's say how to do pleat skirt here. I'm not only providing you the video, and I also providing you the written data, which as a pattern maker we do need this data unless you've been making clothing pattern for quite some time. You can actually measure your body and then create this measurement. But you're first starting out, I would recommend using the number that I offer, and then you will have the same result when the video is finished. Alright, so now go back to Etsy here. So I'm right here, then click on this Etsy.com. That is my store. And if you look down here, I have essential for designer. Right here I have these 3 digital PDF template, which as a designer, if you want to sell your pattern as a sewing pattern, you would need one of these templates. Let's say I have 3 of them right now. Let's click on that and we'll show you what there are. So right here you have this template, and I have 3 templates by the way, and for $1.99. And these 3 templates, you can drop your garment, your digital garment in here, and you can sell them as a sewing PDF pattern. So it's really, really cool. And I already created them, number them. You can simply drop your garment in there, let's say A-line skirt or simple top, something like that, and then you can sell them with you can sell it with the pattern that you drop in there. Okay, however, you're not allowed to sell the original PDF template that I'm listing right now because that's forbidden. Or you can, when you can place your pattern on there, then you can sell with your pattern. Alright, so now get back here. That's, you got an idea. And I also have fabric for sale. I have pants and all these pants and stuff. They're created in CLO, but use this traditional pattern drafting method that have been proven that the formula and the method work really well on a real human body. For women clothing, of course. And just for messy and normal size, not yet plus size. Alright, so I'm going to close that for now. And let's get back to CLO. So I'm going to pretty much minimize that. And here we go. Alright, so this is the dress. End goal, here we're going to create this dress. I'm going to minimize this as well. Alright, so here we go. So we have this tool here under this 3D toolbar. We have many tools. However, we want to focus on the tool that we're going to use to create a complete pattern making for this woman dress. Alright, so I would use, how about let's I'm going to open that image there so we'll have a better idea. And I'm going to kind of minimize that or make it smaller. Alright, let's say this is for 3D toolbar. What tool would I use to create this dress? So here we go. I use simulation icon, simulation tool, remove slash, right here, move slash tool here, and then I'm going to use also sewing tool here if I have to sew them in this 3D. However, sewing tool here, you can actually either use it the one in 3D or the one in 2D. Okay. And then you come down here, you will use more tool down here. So I would use some folding tool if I want to create hem here. So let's get back to the image here. So I want to do this hem for the dress as well as for the sleeve. I will use this folding tool. So the folding tool where we can actually use that to fold onto this. And not only that, we also use that to fold certain color on the top or color for the shirt. And down here we have this reset. So this is a reset to the toolbar. Choose me garment. So when you click on this, it actually reset to mirror whatever that you are on this 2D workspace. Let's say I have my pattern here. If I move out here, if I click on this reset arrange all here, now the pattern will reset exactly mirror to these 2D patterns. And come down here, we have 3D reset. If I click on that, let's say right here, I'm going to try to click on this 3D reset. So what happened if I place this pattern onto this avatar? Let's go over here. I'm going to turn on this show arrangement point here and click on that pattern, hover the mouse over here. We want to place on there. And let's hide that show arrangement point for now. And let's say if I want to reset all these patterns, now the pattern right here. What if I do this and then I try to reset? So this will work when I sew the pattern with multiple pieces. All right, so next come over here. This is the one useful tool. I use it all the time. It's redrape 3D arrangement. So redrape 3D arrangement, it's so much useful when, let's say, you want to bring your 2D or your garment over when you already have the avatar in the workspace. So you click on that, it actually much more safe compared to you press on the simulation icon, okay? All right, so far I think that's good for now. And over here we have tape measurement, edit tape measure. So this is when we want to measure the avatar or measure the garment itself, we will use this tape measurement tool. All right, so come up here. This is more tool that I would use as well to create my pattern. So however though, this is my preference as a pattern maker because I like to draft the pattern on the cutting board more so than drape it onto this avatar. With that said, right here, this is my cutting table right here in this 2D window. So some people, they prefer draping, which they would use the flatten tool and so on to pretty much drape the garment onto the avatar rather than cut it over here onto this cutting table. For me, I prefer cutting here because I like to have the pattern simply accurate and I can give it an exact number here to create the pattern. Let's say for example, if I have the shoulder length here 22, I divide by 2, which is 11. I can type in the number, and the next right here, the neck width, I can have like 9 or 10. I can do that. With this, if I decided to drape over here, I pretty much kind of guess what the pattern would feel and look, and then come over here and then modify it later. To me, it's like just more time consuming rather than just working on the cutting table. And I prefer this as a cutting table because if I come over here a little bit, let's see this. We call this a vertical toggle menu for close term. However, though, I would prefer as a display menu because this menu here, you can click on hide the item or show the item. And the more items you have here, the more function that available to play with. Let's say we want to like show baseline, show seam allowance, show grading, and so on. So right here, one thing that we want to remember though, if we click one to turn it on, you see right here this green check mark next to it, that means it's on. If you click it one again and that green check mark is turned gray, that means this display mode is off. So let's say somehow, and another thing is important here. Sometimes when I draft the pattern and this pattern, the print right here is distracting. It's hard for me to focus or to see. I would come over here to this fabric, like garment rendering style. I can change that. Right now it's on the front texture surface. I can change that to monochrome right here. Now it looks like just a white paper, which to me that is more useful. And one more function though that I like, you see right here we only see the fabric above the avatar. I like to see the avatar beneath the fabric. Let me show you that. So you go to that garment rendering style once again and then select the translucent surface. Okay, so when you select the translucent surface, you will see this. You will see this pattern beneath, this avatar beneath it. However though, I'm going to change the print first. So let me apply the fabric onto here. So now you get to see right there. This is the avatar right beneath it. You can also use another display function here. So right here you can click on the transparent surface. And this one, it doesn't matter. Either you have the plain fabric, default fabric, or the fabric here. You will see the line and you will see the avatar beneath it. However though, for me I still prefer this display function, translucent, and then I will change this fabric here to this default fabric. So when I draft the garment, I would prefer using a default fabric. Then when the pattern that I draft is finished, I will apply the fabric. So the fabric, when you apply the fabric, you want to know how the garment fit depend on what fabric you use, which like really like in a real life guy, except faster. Because when I used to draft the pattern in a real life, I had to go to Joanne. If you guys are in America, United States, and all over the state, you will find fabric store like Joanne. Now they even have in Walmart. You can go to Walmart and buy fabric by just, you know, swatches. They have swatches, or they have a yard, half a yard, whatever. And you can buy them at Walmart or Joanne or Michael. And oh, you also can get them at Hobby Lobby too, which is crazy. You can find a lot of fabric to many store. And most state has, even a small city has this store. So all right, get back to our concept here. So when we apply the fabric onto the garment, you get a real feel, because what happened, clothes has this realistic fabric property that you can apply onto this garment. All right, so now let's get back to what we can continue doing. So right here, this is more tool here that I use. So I went through this display tool here. Again, guys, they have so many tools to offer, but as a beginner, I would recommend focusing on the tool that you need to use it right now to accomplish your task. Because then you don't just blow your mind and you're just going crazy because it's just so many tools. How can you learn so many tools in a short period of time? And for me to answer to that, yeah, focusing on tools that matter for you to accomplish that project. In this case, we want to accomplish this project right here. So we will use certain tool. So right now, we're gonna go on to next tool here. So I also have this tool down here, add texture tool, edit texture tool, and then texture tool itself, and transform graphic. So transform graphics, in this case, I don't use it for the dress, but I use it for when I try to create a graphic t-shirt. When I bring in graphic, I want to use that graphic tool to scale the graphic to fit the design I want. Okay, now next we have the button and buttonhole, also this fasten button. This is gonna be advanced. However though, it's it's good to know that they're there. These right here for advanced making pattern if you want to create button, shirt, top, and so on. And zipper, of course. Super useful for pattern maker because we use zipper. So it's essential for us as designer to know how, even in real life, to know how to sew the zipper. Because when you know how to sew the zipper, now you can make skirt, you can make pants, you can make dress. Unless you just make a simple dress like kind of slip-ons, like you use this spandex dress, then you don't need zipper. However, for the most part, even you in a real life sewing as a seamstress, when I first started out, all I did was fixing the zipper. When people broke the zipper, they bring it to the shop and I'm doing it. Replace the new zipper and hemming either the pants or dress. Because in Asia, guys, we have this cheap labor. People just buy clothes and bring it to you, or they wear their clothes and then they still love their clothes and the zipper broke. So it's actually really good to know how to do zipper, and then you start on to, if I want to create a garment that requires zipper, now I know how to do zipper. And the more you do, the better you get. The same with clothes. So zipper and clothes, much easier than a real life though, I have to admit. However though, some zipper are tricky because let's say I have the how to sew plier, which is, we got a lot of trouble when you first start learning how to put a plier on a pants. But the good news is I have a tutorial on how to do it step by step, and it's so easy if you follow the step that I demonstrate. Let's say here, zipper, and come to my channel, guys. You can type in the search box here. It's only available with the desktop though. On mobile you can't go in and search, so sorry for that. But here, how to sew zipper fly on this pant here. So it is complicated. I don't say it's easy, but if you practice it long enough, it becomes super easy. Alright, so now let's get back to clothes, and here we go. So it is 30 minutes up, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this live session, and we will continue next week live session. Thank you guys so much for being here, and see you next week. Bye.